As the days go on, we get more updates in this crazy YNW Melly double murder trial. And now they got more confession text messages that prosecutors revealed. And now the defense for YNW Melly is defending a kind of weird type of defense. They're saying that that's not the way YNW Melly types in his messages, so it's not him that sent that. So let's go over the article and see exactly what's going on. YNW Melly was confronted with a key piece of evidence that was mentioned early in the double murder trial, but the 24-year-old's defense team has denied their client's ties to it. On Monday, July 17th, Long Crime Network executive producer Kathy Rusin shared text messages allegedly sent by Melly in which he admitted to the charges brought against him. In a Twitter post, she uploaded an image of the exchange and explained that it was presented to the court as a confession. She wrote, on the final day of the state's case, they finally introduced "I did that text they told the jury about in their opening statement. Prosecutors say this is YNW Melly's confessions to the killings. However, the defense team says this. In explaining the defense, Rusin added that versus that. Now, you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? On cross-exam, the defense shows many texts where YNW Melly spells the word that as that. So there's two ways to spell, if you're speaking slang, you can spell that properly as THAT, or you can spell it, improperly as DAT. And they're making the defense is insinuating that whoever typed that, THAT, wasn't their client because that's not how YNW Melly types that. He spells it as DAT. So that, it's harder to kind of, when you're saying it, it doesn't really make sense, but when you actually word it out, explain it, it makes sense. So following a brief hiatus, the legal proceedings returned last week in Broward County. So last week, the defense objected to disparaging text messages between their client and his mother being read aloud on court. On Wednesday, July 12th, David Howard made the case before Judge John Murphy. There are a number of mothers on the jury who may be inclined to convict just because they have heard irrelevant, unrelated conversations between Mr. Demons, a.k.a. YNW Melly, and his mother. He said he is calling her the B word and all sorts of manner of disrespect that is clearly off-putting to anyone. He continued, and under the pretext that the state of Florida is trying to prove that the phone belongs to Mr. Demons, the state is introducing reams and tons of inadmissible evidence. Prior to that, he testified, that YNW Melly changed clothes. We talked about that, but they also pointed out, like what I just read is basically that YNW Melly was sending disrespectful text messages to his own mother, saying that that's how crazy this guy is, that, he's capable of doing a double murder because, he just spoke disrespectfully to his mother, calling her the B word, so on and so forth. And most people with, that don't kill people, let's just say that, don't disrespect their mothers. I don't know anybody that like loves their mother and then ends off killing people. There are cases like that, don't get me wrong. So that's not really proof that somebody actually murdered somebody, but it's interesting nonetheless. So we'll keep our eye out and see what the defense team has as a defense for YNW Melly. So far, their number one defense is that YNW Melly does not type in these, the way that these text messages are being presented. He types, DAT, that, instead of THAT, that. So we'll keep our eye out and see, if they got better defenses than that, because I don't think that's going to actually hold up.